So, yeah, I'm just saying, the nice thing about metal armor is when you got it made like this, you get a bonus chin rest. That's all I'm saying.
Hey guys,
what
what's
do you mean
that
we're rolling?
smell?
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
What's that smell?
Good evening, and welcome to Inner Monologue, where a bunch of us sit around a table and play Gamma World. Before we get to the game, we do have a few announcements, starting with, if you are in the greater Phoenix area, Arizona Absolute Pest Solutions brings 40 years of professional pest management experience. From rodents to roaches, ticks to termites, if it's a pest in Arizona, Absolute Pest Solutions can kill it. And just because they employ Daleks doesn't mean that they can exterminate anything, just what Arizona considers a pest. So, look them up. If you're in the greater Phoenix area, the link is down there somewhere. For our next announcement, Patrick, you have something for us?
I do.
What's that smell?
Excuse me?
It's not him. What's that smell?
It must be a candle from Lisa Lutz Candles on Etsy.
Ooh.
So if you're interested in candles that go along with your D&D character, this is my Vannon from another world, but she can do these really cool little tins for you. And if you're a rogue or a mystic or even a fighter like myself, or a beautiful bowl man, she can do a candle for you. So hit her up on Etsy, Lisa Lutz Candles.
And don't burn yourself with the candles. We don't have the insurance to afford that.
No.
But it's so much fun.
For our next announcement, perhaps you are unaware, but cake technology has been rapidly advancing to the point where anything might be cake. Your phone, the dining room chair, maybe even your dog. Such uncertainty will grip the world with fear. So much so that you go to hug your wife for comfort, only to find she is cake. And if you're in the greater Phoenix area and want a wife-shaped cake, go to Heavy Pedal Cakes and tell Jen we sent you. Links below.
Heavy Pedal.
Now, it's highly possible that you are seeing this video on YouTube. If you like what we do and you are entertained, please join us at locals.com and become a subscriber. Until the end of the year, we are offering subscriptions for only $2 a month or $20 for the full year. And that gets you, the $20 for the full year gets you 2 free months. Your subscription helps us grow, helps us bring you more content, and that's our goal, is to entertain you while also entertaining ourselves. So, as an added bonus, the more we grow, the more we also grow our community. But more on that later. On a sadder note, we unfortunately have lost Nancy. Due to real-life adulting, she has had to drop out of the series, at least for now. We are hoping to get her back in the future once adulting quits picking on her. In the meantime, we now have Jori, who is joining our team.
Thank you.
And we will be introducing her character very shortly here. I do believe... one more announcement. We do have some people that may be late or may not be able to make the session at all, once again, because of adulting. So if they're not here this episode, they will be hopefully next episode. So with all that said, let us jump into the exciting realm that is Gabby. Hour since our heroes uncovered an ancient installation hidden beneath Haven University. Relics were uncovered, some that talked even, as well as a few weapons. Then they uncovered 3 living beings, and in the ensuing fight, almost lost a couple of the party members. Now, you are each heading to your respective homes. Already news of your discovery is spreading like wildfire through the town. Everybody wants to see. After all, many people here have led simple lives and never personally seen the inside of an ancient ruin, the likes of which you found. As you reach the house you live in, you feel like a hero who's come home from war, victorious in defeating the enemy. Pride swells in your chest as you go to open the door. And that's where we find our new hero.
That'd be
Mazelaine.
me.
Mazelaine, you had not been party to the find that is starting to cause some excitement. Instead, you were learning how to use a new weapon that Haven has recently developed, a black powder revolver. After 2 weeks of working with the weapon, you feel skilled with it and certainly find it to be a better weapon than a single-shot flintlock. You can't help but smile as you walk through the streets of Haven. The town is bright, airy, and happy with lots of friendly faces, many who wave at you, and you don't even know them that well. It's quite the juxtaposition from the dark and dreary place of Tannhauser Gate, where you spent your apprenticeship with Master Gregory. It was your master that had negotiated with Jean, the head leader of the Haven Council, to add your skills to a troubleshooting team. Master Gregory felt that your experience and education needed to expand. Being part of a Haven troubleshooting team offered you the best opportunity. Jean gladly took you in, even gave you a spare bedroom that once belonged to one of his children. They had all grown and gone on to start their own homes. Jean and his wife Jada took you in as if you were an adopted daughter. And damn, can that woman cook. You can't imagine how Jean remains as thin as he is given her skill. As you approach the door, you can already smell her work in the air. With a smile, you open the door and walk in, only to have your smile fall away as you see Master Gregory sitting at the kitchen table.
Oh.
The man is wearing that same black, heavy leather coat that you could swear he never takes off. Scraggly gray hair stops at the collar of his jacket. His beard is equally unkempt and stops about mid-chest. Greetings! How goes your training?
Oh, going well, especially now that you're not normally around.
See, that mouth hasn't changed.
Nope.
Jean tells me you will be assigned with the troubleshooting team that graduates next month. So this is for you. And from under the table, he pulls out a heavy leather belt with what might be a dagger attached to it, but it's strange. He puts it onto the table and it's got a bit of a heavy thud to it. As you look at it, it appears to be the basket hilt of a sword, sheathed in a stubby scabbard no longer than a dagger blade. What do you do?
Thank you. This is quite the non-dagger.
Take a look.
Oh, yes, I see a significant lack of a blade here.
Sure enough, when you unsheath it, there is no physical blade at all. Both the weapon and the scabbard are made of dull adamant metal that shows no signs of wear or damage. It has to be an ancient artifact.
Yeah, something pretty
So,
wicked.
as far as I can ascertain, this is what the ancients called a guardian sword.
That's
It is-
gonna be pretty.
It is highly possible that they were actually developing their own Merlins before the cataclysm happened. When you grip the sword, 2 needles will punch into your palm, allowing you to transfer your nanos into the sword and create a blade.
Nice. How long the blade? I'm gonna test it out.
Okay.
Test it out. Okay.
You grip it
I grip it.
and you press the button. Sure enough, 2 needles pierce into your palm. They're not very big, but it stings.
Yeah.
And as soon as you feel your nanos flow into the device, a orange blade of plasma, as long as a long sword, springs to life.
I can use that.
And at that, you are down 10 nanos.
Dang. And we're gonna put it away from me.
You turn it off, the blade just collapses and disappears.
Nice. What else can it do?
Well, depending on the amount of your own nanos that you pump into it, you can increase the damage.
Ooh, I like that.
But you'll need to practice with it.
Yeah, it won't take me long. I'll do good with it. So who wants to be my practice partner? No takers?
Well, they're not there.
Oh, just kidding.
But if we were.
Fine. All right. So how about you show me how to use this thing?
Right. He gets up, takes you outside,
Okay.
actually out into their backyard instead of their front yard. Don't want to make a scene.
Of course not.
And he walks you through how it works, how it functions.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you have the nanos available,
Mm-hmm.
you can boost its damage up to double its normal intensity.
So how many nanos do I have?
You start with
How
19.
much?
If I remember correctly, you have
Okay,
19. It's on the
19.
front of your character sheet. Nano
So I can't even use it a second time right now.
No. And it will last, the blade will last for 5 minutes
Okay.
before it would have to be recharged again.
All right. You can do a lot in 5 minutes. Well, I can do a lot.
Yeah.
He said nanos.
But once you have fueled it with nanos,
Mm-hmm.
they are there powering it until you have used that time limit up.
Okay.
So you've put the 10 into it.
Mm-hmm.
At
It'll
this
last
point,
5 minutes.
right. So your pool will recharge overnight,
Okay.
and then you'll be back to full. Currently, it's at full.
So what now?
Well, I'm going back to Tannhauser Gate.
Good. Good. Leave me in peace. I'm sorry. I mean, I hope you have a safe journey.
Yeah, right. See, you've gotten to be just as grumpy as I am.
Oh, just with a smile on my face.
Well, if you need anything, go ahead and drop by. Just be careful about who you bring.
Alright, don't want to kill anyone else, right?
All he does is smile,
Mm-hmm.
and you see a cloud of nanites. You can feel the energy from his nanites as they come out from him, swirl around in this silver cloud that swirls faster and faster until he's gone.
I want to do that. Can I do that? Can I gather the nanites that he's left
No.
behind? I know. Well, because I can sense nanos, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know that he is powerful.
Yeah. I only hope to be able to get that powerful
In time.
in time.
What would you like to do next?
I can't play with it again, but I mean I guess it's charged for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and
So I
we'll
can
say
do some
we'll say you
practice.
used 3 minutes of it, so you get 2 minutes left.
Okay. So what kind of damage can I do in 2 minutes?
Well, in game terms,
Yes.
it has a base damage of 3d6.
Okay.
So every time you hit something, it's doing 3d6 plasma damage. With a certain amount of time, you can not only use it as a weapon, you could burn through a lock,
Okay.
cut a hole in a hatch, things like that.
Nice, like a saber staff.
It's kind of.
Okay.
But we're not
really,
calling it that
saber
because
staff.
copyright strike.
Of course not. I didn't say anything. Uh-huh.
Nothing.
Mhm. Okay. So I could.
You do not want to incur the wrath of the Lucas.
I already incurred the wrath of the Disney once.
Yeah, well, let's not do it again.
Sorry.
So yeah, it's relatively, it's a decently powerful weapon. You'll be able to, as you gain levels and your nano pool grows, you will be able to enhance its ability.
Okay.
So, but yeah, right now you're pretty much just going to use it at base damage. If you're going to want to be able to have nano set aside to be able to do other effects in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. All right. So after that, well, I'll probably eat because I smelled the food.
Yeah, when you come back in, the table has been already set, and Jada looks at you and says, "Good day, darling. How are you doing?"
Oh, doing good.
Hopefully, Master Gregory didn't dampen your spirits.
No, I'm used to him.
Well,
Seems
dinner's
right.
about ready. Jean should be home any minute now.
Oh, good. Okay.
And as if she were summoning him, the front door opens and Jean walks in. I actually want you to give me a perception roll. So that's going to be a D20,
Okay. D20.
which looks like this guy.
This guy? Okay.
Okay. You're going to roll it, and you're going to add your mental strength modifier to that.
Okay, I'm a newbie, so you guys got, so that's a 6. Mental strength, so is that the 13?
Yeah, and there's a plus
And the
next
plus
to it.
1?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
7.
13 plus 1.
Yeah.
So 7. So just the plus 1.
The entire time you've been living with them, they look pure strain human.
Well, yeah,
Just
because
like
I'm
you.
a pure strain.
Nothing about them they appear to have no mutations. They appear to be, quote, normal for pure strain humans.
Okay.
But there's something about Jean that you just can't quite put a finger on.
It's kind of one of those homeschooled kind of kids, like that kind of, I can't
Well,
put it on him,
you'd suspect he has some kind of power
okay.
that a pure strain human wouldn't have,
okay.
but you have yet to put a finger on it. So.
Alright. So something's hinky with him.
Just off.
Just off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Off.
you have no reason to suspect him of being bad or of any wrongdoing. There's
Like,
just,
is it enough that I mistrust him? Like, I feel like he's keeping a secret and lying to me? I'm gonna start asking questions. That's allowed, right?
No, not to that extent.
Okay.
He does seem to be very charismatic.
Okay.
He is, after all, kind of like the Haven has a council, and he is the head of the council.
Okay.
So he's kind of like the prime minister per se.
Okay. Setting off.
Emperor.
But if you didn't know any better, you'd say there was more to him than meets the eye.
Okay. He's got hidden depths.
And as soon as he comes in, he sees the table's already set, sees you, and goes, "Ah, good evening. How was your day?"
It was good, other than Master Gregoro coming by.
"Oh, I'm sorry I missed him."
Don't be. We all know that that's a lie. You're not sorry you missed it.
Seems like all of his apprentices feel the same way.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a surprise. But he did bring me something.
Oh,
You
good.
want to see?
Sure.
Yeah, so because I've already got belted off.
Right.
FYI. Yeah, because this is cool. I can't really show it what it does because I don't have enough nanos, but
Very
it's
interesting.
cool. You're just going to have to take my word for it.
At some point, if you would not mind, bringing that to the council hall
Okay.
so that one of our people could at least record it.
Yeah.
Because I have not seen anything like that before.
No, neither have I.
So new artifacts we do like to at least record so we have a record of them. That way our teams that go out might at least be able to recognize such a thing.
Yeah, of course.
Excellent.
Yeah, when's a good time?
Tomorrow will be fun.
Great.
You will be graduating with a team that is almost ready
Yes.
within the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, They did us a great service today.
Oh, really? What
Yes.
did they do?
Evidently, all this time we did not know that we had an ancient installation underneath the university.
Really?
They found the entrance to it.
What did they find?
Mostly it appears to be a, what did they call it? A bunker. So it was a place that people would flee to for safety.
Oh.
This has a number of living cubicles in it, and also a laboratory, interestingly enough.
Oh, that is interesting.
But it also has a working nuclear power generator. Although we'll have to try to figure out a way to keep it powered.
Okay.
But amazingly enough, it's in pristine condition. Already, everybody wants to see it, of course.
Of course. It's an amazing find.
Yes. So this is the team that you will be with. So hopefully that is a good omen.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yes. But enough talking business for now. We have dinner.
Dinner.
And at that you eat.
Mm-hmm.
And food for tonight is rog ribs.
Okay.
And for those who don't know what a rog is, it is basically the mutant version of a pig.
Okay.
But they are
Bacon.
woolly pigs.
Mm.
They have almost like a woolly mammoth type fur
Okay.
instead of just smooth skin.
Some picking hair out of my teeth.
No.
Yeah.
But ribs
Never
with
had this.
Jada's special sauce.
Oh, her special sauce is amazing.
And at that, you have dinner, sit back, relax. And that will bring us to Clayton.
Hello?
Clayton,
Yes, sir.
home sweet home. Built piece by piece, as your father likes to say often. According to your mom, the original two-story home had lots of damage at the rear of the house. Missing walls, roof that needed patching, and a lot of debris that needed cleaned out. Your father built the forge that exists on the side and extends into part of the backyard. In fact, you can see your father in the smithy as you walk up. He waves while putting the horseshoe in a vat of oil to quench it. What would you like to do?
Alright. Well, is my dad, so my father's the only one I see present
Yeah.
right now? Okay. I'm gonna go talk to my dad, fill him in on what just happened.
Well, hello, son. How was your day?
Well, it was rather interesting, Father. What was supposed to be just us cleaning the facility turned into finding some underground bunker.
Really?
We found several artifacts. None I have with me at the moment. They were all taken by the professor for investigations.
Of course, they would need to be cataloged.
We found many of these interesting rod-shaped things that would give out light.
Oh, yes. The ancients call it an electric torch.
That's right. That's it. Well, we found several of those. We found some ridden, odd, talking, bear-looking, robotic object.
Interesting.
Yeah, Aelith took that. I don't know what she's doing with it, but... And we also found what appeared to be a nuclear generator.
A working one.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Originally, when we went down there was no sources of power other than the electric torches. But we did run into a battle with 3 interesting, almost melting-looking humans.
What?
Yeah, I mean, they were spitting out some sort of acid
Are
at my
you all right?
colleagues. I'm fine. I can't say the rest for my colleagues. But we got...
Are they all right?
As of, we did, they are being taken care of, yeah. They do believe they were healed.
Oh, good.
But it was a pretty rough battle. Some almost didn't make it.
Well, I'm sure your mom will want to hear about that, but in the future, son, you need to be more careful.
Yes, sir. But we did, after the battle, we found we actually found a nuclear source of energy that fueled the facility and brought the power back.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that was when the professor came down and, well, here I am.
Well, aside from the fact that you got into a fight, at least you came out on top. Hopefully they started it.
Oh, well, of course, always.
Oh, good. In that case, good job, son.
Thanks, father.
I'm sure dinner will be ready soon.
Could use some water right now.
Oh yeah, go on inside and get some. I'm almost done here.
All right. Is Mom inside?
Yes.
All right. From there, I head inside and.
Okay. Yeah, as I said before, home sweet home. This home has just the feel of a loving family in it.
Okay.
Every time you walk in, you almost feel like you're being hugged by your mom and dad. There's a salvaged couch which has been repaired and re-repaired and re-repaired over the years, especially because of you young kids, sometimes jumping up and down it. But still, it has even though it is a relic of the old world, and it has numerous spots of stitching in it as if it were a battle-scarred veteran. You have a lot of memories.
Okay.
A lot of good memories from that couch.
Nice.
And there's some art on the wall. Some of it that's been done by you and the kids from school projects. Some of it is stuff that was recovered from when your mother was a troubleshooter for Haven. There are little knickknacks, little figurines, little things that she's found that really aren't worth anything per se, but yet she decided to keep them because she liked them.
Okay.
And from the living room to your left, you've got stairs that curve up and head to the second floor.
Okay.
And then towards the back, you've got the dining room, and then connected to that is like a breakfast nook.
Okay.
And then to the left, after the stairs go up, is where the kitchen is, and you can hear sounds coming from the kitchen.
Okay. I head up to the kitchen.
All right. Sure enough, you find your mom there. She's currently finishing cooking the meal for all of you.
Okay.
Your siblings, your brother, Mark, is 2 years younger than you.
Okay.
And then your sister, Janice, is 3.5 years younger than you.
Okay.
You don't see them,
Okay.
but when you come in, as soon as you come in, actually, let me double check to make sure because she is cooking. Yeah, no, with that roll, she hears you coming.
Okay.
Maybe even she's got that. Mom was an enforcer. Mom was an enforcer, so she's got that sixth sense from being a warrior.
Right.
So as soon as you walk into the kitchen, she just turns her head around, looks at you, smiles, and says, "Hey, dear, how are you?"
I've had a rather interesting day, Mother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, why don't you tell me about your day while I finish?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we started out by cleaning. Should have been a simple cleanup at the facility. We ended up finding this underground bunker.
She stops, turns and looks at you and says, "Really?
Yeah.
What was it like?"
Well, we found several interesting artifacts to begin. Dad said they're called electric torches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've got one in our closet.
And thankfully we did also find some energy sources to go in because we had no light at the facility.
Batteries or power cells? And you can tell from that question she's testing you.
I believe they were power cells.
What did it look like?
Sort of a round cylinder, about yay big.
She says, "That's a battery. The power cells are the flat, rectangular ones."
Epic fail.
It's alright. Continue.
We had several of those. That we had no light in the facility, so thankfully we had the torches. I found some rubber contraption with a plug, a pump, and I don't know, but it would bounce when we would experiment with it.
I believe they called that a baseball.
Bicycle.
Yeah, I think so. And they used it in one of their desk sports, as I understand.
Well, be that as it may, we found several of those, some bat-looking objects, and then from there, well, it was a rather big bunker, but we also found seemed to somewhat generate nuclear power.
Really?
Yeah, and that was when chaos erupted, and we ended up in a battle with 3 acidic-looking human-like creatures.
What?
Yeah.
Is everyone okay?
Everyone's okay. Some of them got a little wounded, but they're healed. They're healing.
Good.
We made it through the battle, and then we did actually find a source of energy, which powered the facility.
What did it look like? You can just go through the description if you want. You don't have to.
It had some sort of a glow to it. But be that as it may, it was kind of a cylinder shape.
That sounds like a nuclear power cell.
Okay.
Which would make sense if it was a nuclear generator.
And that was my assumption because it fueled the energy, and the lighting came on in, and that was when the professor entered. They took our findings, and here I am back at home.
She pulls you into a hug.
Mommy.
Right?
And says, I'm glad you're okay, dear.
Yeah, me too.
And good job.
Thanks. Where are the others?
Well, your brother is having an overnight stay at one of his friend's places.
All right.
And then Jenna should be here any time now. She might be out back playing.
All right. Well, I could use some water in the meantime, please.
Go get some.
Go get a huge gaping thing of water and just...
Ice Cube Challenge. Okay, so you have a drink, start to feel a bit more refreshed, a bit more rested,
Yeah.
and at that, as dinner starts to get put onto the table and the family starts to come in, we come to Marduk.
Dun, dun, dun.
Home.
Oh.
The place you both love and hate. In some ways, it was always fun for a child's imagination. Before you were born, the team your father was on discovered an ancient flying craft. While it was wrecked and would never fly again, it and the shipping containers that it had been carrying were still in decent condition. Your father had a keen eye and was able to get the ship and containers transported to Haven and built a home with them. The cockpit for the ship alone was a great place to play as a kid, and many of the Haven children envied you, or at least they used to. With luck, your father is at home. What would you like to do?
Go in very quietly.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll, please.
Not so much. Push the door open and bangs against the wall, and I wake my dad up.
You forget that the sliding door has been recently relubricated, and it just wing across and makes a nice thunk.
Sorry, my bad. Hi.
Honey, is that you? You hear your mom.
Hi, Mom. Yep, I'm back. So we had crazy day. Wait, where's Dad?
Oh, he's not here. He's probably down at the...
Okay, so we had this like totally cool day. Mom, let me tell you. Listen, we were doing this cleanup thing, and you know the professor said, you know, clean this stuff up, and we got bored. You know, just clean up. Anyway, so then we went and looked around. We found this underground place. I don't know what it's called. Like we found tunnels, and we have found rooms, and we found like things that light up, and they don't hurt you when they flash in your eyes. Because I had it flash in my eyes twice, and it didn't hurt. but it was like totally cool. And then we kept going, and Mom, me and this little fox chick, whatever. She's a pain in the butt. Anyway, so we took out this machine gun to her, and because they were shooting at, and I have a owie right here.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, because the plant guy sucked on my leg, and
What?
I'm not sure. He said proto something, and it was gonna fix me, and it didn't really work. And I told him that I was gonna rip him apart, but I did not, because you told me not to be mean.
Good ball.
So anyway, after the machine gun thing, then we went into another room, and there was these weird creatures, and I told him to back off. I did, Mom, because you told me not to fight unless I have to. So.
Is that why your shirt looks the way it does?
Kinda, yeah. Because, there's goop on there that I'm not sure what it is, but it smells bad. And anyways, so I used my horns on him. I charged him, putting him against the wall, and then he started oozing this stuff all over me, and I started getting covered in it, and I felt really bad. But then he died. We killed him. And once he died, it started to fade away. So, but then we found this other place, and there was like this big giant machine. I'm not sure what it's called, but we found this stick, and it glowed. It glowed like a star. And we put it into the machine, and it lit up the whole building. It was like totally cool. I'm not sure what they call that, but everyone was like, "You guys are awesome," and I'm like, "I know." So. That was my day.
Sounds like a good day.
Thank you. Right?
Well, dear, I'm glad you're okay.
Well, I just hope that if Dad hears about it, that he is proud, because,
Honey, there's a part of him that probably will be proud, but given what he's been through, it might be best not to mention it.
But, I did some good stuff, and I really, really, really want him to look at me and say,
I know.
"You're my son."
Come here, have a seat.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
We haven't really talked a lot about this, but you're going to graduate soon. So I think it's important you understand what it is your father's going through. Maybe in the hopes that it will help you should the same thing happen to you, which I hope it doesn't.
What could happen to me?
But you need to understand. Your father has a lot of personal demons that he's struggling with. It's the reason I'm still with him. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this house. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have you. But the thing is, that last mission he went on, he lost almost his whole team. And I really think he blames himself. Many times he questions, what could he have done differently that could have saved his team? And that's what he's struggling with. And I don't want to take the wind out of your sail. I know you want him to be proud of you. But I think when he sees you getting ready to go on your own first mission, to become a member of a troubleshooting team, which is without a doubt one of the most, or at least can be one of the most glorious things that any of us in Haven can do, I think he's scared.
Scared?
Because just like me, we don't want to lose you. You're our only child.
You're not going to ever lose me.
Honey, don't ever assume. Every member on his team thought they were immortal. But that last mission, it was bad. And I don't even... It's hard for him to talk about it. So I don't even know all the details. I know that live metal was involved. And I know it was a really bad fight. But it's just something I want you to understand, that even if he learns of it, and even if he tries to talk down to you about it and make you feel like it was something you shouldn't have done, I just want you to understand that those words from him most likely come from his fear of losing you. And I'm sure there's a part of him, even though he won't admit it, that is proud of you. And we just need to try to give him the most patience we can. And I don't know if he'll ever get better. I've heard of some enforcers who have had really bad battles, and it leaves a mark. Hopefully that never happens to you. Because I want you to be happy. Every parent wants their child to be happy. Even your father wants you to be happy. But one thing I can tell you no parent wants, and that's to bury their child. Yes, ma'am. So, just weather the storm. Okay?
Well, I will tell you, we had some people get pretty banged up. I mean, my bullet hole was, I did get messed up pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. I could use a cookie or something. But anyway,
She grabs the cookie jar, slides it over. You deserved it.
So we battled, and then the professor came down, and we had these cool things. Like I had a new gun. It was a really cool gun, Mom. I really want it back. And he said we could have it back, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So I'm kind of mad. But anyway, he said he was really proud of us, and all of us did a really good job. So, so can I have seconds tonight, do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
And likely, what you found, you will get back. They just need to catalog it.
Okay.
That's how the restorationists are. Anything they find, they want to catalog, because that's part and parcel of what they do.
Well, I also got this thing. It was like a stick with it was thin here and thicker here, and I really think that like if I swing it at somebody, I could do some damage. So I want that back too.
All right. I highly doubt they'll keep it.
Good.
They are very good about what someone found can be kept, although they do also appreciate it when you donate things to Haven for our mutual defense.
I understand. I can have it if you want it.
No, if you feel you need it,
I just think
you hold on to it.
I think moving forward would be a good thing to put on my back like this.
Then don't let them talk you out of it. Okay? Remember, there are times, just like in that fight down there, that you need to stand your ground. Just be diplomatic about it.
Okay. Well, I did, the plant guy that sucked on my leg and did the photoplatinum thingy. I did save his life.
Good for you.
Yeah, I did not cut him in half with scissors. I was going to cut him in half.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do that.
So, anyway, I'm glad I'm home.
I'm glad you're home too, yeah.
And even if Dad comes home, I'm glad I'm home.
Why don't you go wash up? Dinner will be ready in a little while.
Okay. And I'll go wash my hands.
All right. While you do that, we will come back to Mezzanine. Dinner is over. You're just kind of sitting back in the chair in that wonderful post-food coma. And Jean looks over to you and says, "So, Do you feel you're ready to be part of the troubleshooting team?
Of course.
Good.
I mean, I've studied for so long just for something like this, for this opportunity.
Excellent. The group you'll be joining has Marduk,
Okay.
who is a mutant bull.
Okay.
He's the tank of the group, without a doubt.
Okay.
There's Clayton Forrester,
Mm-hmm.
who you may have heard of. He's actually part of a prominent family.
Okay.
His father is a restorationist like him,
Oh, yeah.
but his mother was an enforcer for one of the troubleshooting teams. And then there's Calliope. She's an anchorman. Small bipedal fox. A little abrasive, but, well, many of them are young, still have a lot to learn. I remember the days of my youth. And there's Aelith. She is an altered human. I don't know a lot about her past. She has not been very forthcoming. We found her near to death, just south of the river. All we were able to figure out was she had escaped from Dollar and from someone bad. So we took her in, basically made her part of the town. She's been living with Madame Belfry, to be exact. And she has some skills getting around mechanical objects. She seems to be adept at that.
Useful.
I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I don't think I am. Oh, no, I'm missing someone. Spock. Spock is an interesting and colorful character. He's a sentient plant, one of the green folk. And Spock is two people. He has two brains.
Okay.
Therefore, he can carry on two different conversations at the same time if he wanted to.
Alright.
Sometimes they do not get along with each other, which is both humorous and scary to watch.
So I'm going to be babysitting him?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just checking.
But Spock was not raised here. And to be honest, he was not raised anywhere. We found him in an ancient ruins. Part of it's still functioning. And he grew up on what he calls historical records. But after looking at the so-called historical records, many of us believe it was not historical records, but just a ancient form of entertainment. So when it comes to real-world experience, he has a lot to learn. Hopefully everyone in the group will help him in that regards. But he is very intelligent. He picks up things fast. Thanks to the many video discs that were in the ruins he was in, that he grew up in. He also has some knowledge of higher mathematics. But as much as some of the council wanted to just put him in our think tank team, it was felt that getting him out with the troubleshooting team and helping him get real world experience was more important. So that he can finally, what's the word I'm looking for? Adapt, as it were, and acculturate to Haven, understand its people better. Which I'm sure in a way you can understand.
Oh, very much so. I mean, I didn't talk to anyone for the longest time except for Master Kirk, and that was just... Oh, I feel his pain.
But I think it's going to be a good team. Overall, they have a wide skill set.
Sounds like it.
We did have a woman by the name of Nara, who was originally going to be on the team. She's a healer. But after some deliberation, we felt it was better to have her in the hospital.
Okay.
Especially given the fact that she is in her 40s. She's a little older. It seemed like a much better choice.
Okay. Well, I mean, and I can heal some. So, I mean...
Right, and that's another reason why when Master Gregory came here and talked about bringing you in, that it was going to be a good fit, that at least you had some healing abilities.
Well, I'm excited.
I am too. I think this mission will be good for everyone involved.
So when do we start?
Roughly in 2 weeks.
What am I going to do for 2 weeks?
Train. I know.
I always train.
Yep. That is the nature of troubleshooters. Always learning something new.
Alright, I guess I can do that.
If there's anything you need, let me know.
Okay.
We will be issuing you your beginning gear along with everyone else. So the black powder revolver you've been working with, you can go ahead and keep that one. We don't need to worry about issuing you one at this point. But everything else we'll make sure you get set up on. So, backpack, survival gear, things of those nature.
Sounds good.
Excellent. And tomorrow, don't forget.
Yes,
Come by the hall.
Yes.
Let one of our people take a look at that so that they can properly
Of
report it.
course. Of course.
Excellent. Well, if there's nothing else for tonight.
No, other than maybe dessert.
How would you feel about a new game?
Sure.
Excellent.
What kind of game?
Well, one of the troubleshooting teams brought in a haul, so to speak, of cards.
Oh.
And evidently it was a game that the ancients played, and fortunately there was a booklet that had the instructions.
Oh,
and it is called Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. Are
So-
they gathering the magic?
I'll show you.
Okay.
And at that, he walks over to a cupboard, opens it up, pulls out a couple of decks of cards. They almost look the size of playing cards. And at that, you each shuffle your decks, and he walks you through how to play it. And you find you actually like the game because in a way it reminds you of being a Merlin and bringing things into existence. And that will be your night.
Okay. It's a good night.
That will bring us back around to Clayton. Clayton, family's had dinner. Your brother is with his friend in a sleepover. Janice is her usual annoying self. You try to remember a time when you were that young and you have a hard time coming to such memories. But apparently she's heard about this animated toy that was found in ruins underneath the university. She's hoping at some point to get to see it.
You heard about the bear-looking object.
Everybody's heard about it.
What do you mean, everybody?
I mean, everybody. The whole town knows about it.
You know, we found more interesting objects than this stupid little talking bear.
Wait, that was you?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Nobody said who found it. Wait,
It was the group. Someone in the group did. It wasn't exactly me, but...
what? Tell me all about it. What was it like?
Actually, it was a worthless piece of crap. We were looking for an energy source. We knew it knew something about it. It did talk, and all it did was try and teach us about things like manners.
See, Mom's right. You have no inner child.
Perhaps. I personally want to blow the head off the stupid thing, but
Brother!
Aelith insisted we could make some kind of money off of it. It's gonna buy a piece of crap like that.
Oh! And at that, she stands up, stomps her feet, and stalks off to her room. And Mom and Dad are just like... Mom looks at you and says, "Dear, could you not rile your sister up?"
I'm sorry, Mom.
Whatever are we going to do with you kids?
I mean, what's the big deal about that? We found weapons and... oh, I didn't tell you about the machine gun that tried to kill us.
What?
Yeah, Marduk. Well, Marduk. He opened up this door and this machine gun just starts going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And it hit Marduk in his leg.
Is he okay?
He's okay. The plant sucked it out of him, so...
What?
Yeah, it was an interesting sight to see. But he's okay.
Alright.
Plant should seem to enjoy it, though. I don't know why.
Scissors.
Honey.
That's all I can say.
Any working ancient artifact is valuable.
Okay.
Even if what I've heard so far is true, that it was probably a child's toy. If it's a working child's toy, it's valuable because it teaches us how the ancients built things.
You wouldn't be more concerned about these guns, these weapons?
Kiddo, I hate to break it to you, but you can find weapons anywhere. And granted, I'm not downplaying the importance of weapons given how dangerous our world is. But a talking bear, the entire time that I was part of a troubleshooting team, I never saw one.
You've never seen a talking robotic bear?
No.
So you think there could be some use to come out of this thing?
Well, think of it this way. We spend a great deal of our time just surviving.
True.
Answer me this. How many hours of leisure do you get in a day? Or I should put it this way. With your father and I here as part of that leisure time, how much do you think it is?
Oh, that's easy. That's an easy answer. Little to none.
Exactly. Once you become an adult and you have to get out into that big, wide, dangerous world, you spend a ridiculous amount of your time just surviving. We get roughly an hour, sometimes 2 hours of leisure time in a day. And trust me, we keep track because we try to spend as much time as you kids as we can.
True.
But if the stories are correct, the ancients had all kinds of leisure time. Hours and hours. All because they had built up to such a technological level that the vagaries of basic survival were no longer an issue.
So what you're saying is even possibly these objects like the bouncing sphere, the bats, these possibly were not used in war.
No.
They were used in leisure time.
Right.
It's kind of hard to imagine, but I guess it's possible for the ancients.
They had something called sports. Various games that people would play. Some of them, from what we've been able to ascertain, were violent. Some of them not so. But the whole point was these sports helped to entertain people.
Okay.
We don't have time for that.
No, we do not.
I mean, kids do. You kids have all the time in the world to play until you become an adult, and then it disappears. At least if you want to make sure that you have food on the table, a roof over your head, and not get eaten by a plant.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah. So things like that, a working ancient toy is a wonder to a child, especially in this day and age. And there are parents out there that would likely pay immense sums of domars just to give it to their child.
I'll take your word for it.
One day when you have children of your own, you'll come to understand it better.
Yeah, that day's not gonna come for a long, long time. If
That's
ever.
all right, dear. That's quite all right.
Although, you will be happy to know that these objects we found, including that bear, we will be receiving those back.
Well, that's what you should. You found them.
That's what they say. I just hope you know they keep their word.
If you have anything extra, hopefully you will be giving it to Haven for mutual defense.
We did find several weapons and the torches, so we would need to check to see if we have extra. But yeah, we were told we would get them all back.
Well, as soon as you can share, I'd love to see what you found.
Yes, ma'am. Gladly. Now.
Well, it's getting late.
Yes.
We should clean up and head to bed.
Thank you for dinner.
Of course.
Then I just clean up. And at this point, probably ready to just call it a day.
Okay.
So.
As you're starting to help, pick things up from the table, your father goes, "Oh, son,
Yes, sir.
I've got a graduation present for you." And from around the corner in the breakfast nook, he pulls out a pipe rifle and hands it to you.
As I'm helping her clean, I just drop all the dishes to the ground.
I'm spaced, dude.
Oh my! What? I rush over.
And he hands you a pipe rifle.
I'm just like,
Your mom and I worked hard to build that for you for your graduation.
you both made this?
Yes.
I'm just like, I went on, I was like, oh my god, this is, thank you. I tackle both of my parents. I will use it proudly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Marduk,
Yes.
dinner is over. Your mom is cleaning up. And you can hear the hoof beats of your father coming out.
So
I should say the staggering hoof beats of your father.
again, well, I'm helping Mom with the dishes. I'm hoping that he doesn't notice me.
Okay.
But as always, once the door opens,
Give me a perception check.
10.
Okay.
Ish.
It does. You don't need a high perception for this. You hear the sliding door kind of jerkily open, and he curses under his breath with a slur as it finally gets completely opened, and he grumbles, comes inside, slides it shut. Yes, dinner ready.
Hi, Dad.
Ah, hey boy. How was your day?
Completely uneventful. We just did what the teachers wanted us to do. So yeah. So let me get you some dinner.
Excellent. He stumbles over to the dining room chair, damn near falls into it, and then leans forward onto the table. And he's out by the way.
Mom. So what do we do now? I mean,
Honey,
you want me to carry him to bed
no. Just let him stay.
all night?
Yeah.
Does this happen a lot?
Now and again.
Okay. I hate to see him like this.
I know. I do too.
And
How did... I think it was Gene told me once that when you have someone who's addicted to something, you have to let them hit rock bottom before they'll truly accept any help. And I don't think your father's quite gotten there yet. Hopefully soon.
well, can I tell you some things?
Sure.
So there's been several times that he's been at this level, and I don't know what makes him so mad, but he like hits me. And you know, I'm strong. I can handle it, but
Honey,
it hurts.
I know he's your father, and I know you love him. But if he hits you, don't take him.
Are you saying I can hit him back?
Yes.
How hard?
Try to temper that,
Okay.
okay? But there are some things that you shouldn't tolerate. And once again, I know he loves you, and I'm pretty sure that comes from a place of fear, but don't let him do that. You're pretty much a grown man now. You shouldn't let anyone do that.
Well, I don't, except for him, and it's just because he's my dad.
I know.
But if you're saying it's okay to stand up for myself, I will.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely stand up for yourself. And who knows? Maybe that will be his rock bottom. But if you let him continue to hit you, all you're doing is enabling that behavior. He hit me once. He learned how solid my frying pan is.
I remember your stick thing that you stir stuff with. When I reached in to try to grab a little bit when I was 10-ish. Anyways, and you smacked me with it. Hurt?
Yes.
You can only imagine what your frying pan's like.
And I don't like the idea of him being abusive to either of us. And, I mean, some people have told me I should leave him. But I love him. And I know he's been through some really awful stuff. So I'm just trying to help him the best I can. And get him to hopefully a better place.
Well, I'm gonna always be here to help you with that. But
I love you too, dude.
thank you, and I'm glad that you knew what I was saying because I didn't want to get mushy and that kind of stuff. But
Hey, you're my baby boy. You can always be mushy with me.
thanks, Mom. But he's like, his nose is like dripping stuff out of it and stuff. I'm not sure what's going on. Do you care if I like pick him up and put him on the couch at least?
Go ahead. Just try not to wake him.
Okay, so I go over and pick him up.
Okay, give me a strength roll.
Please be big.
8.
8 plus, actually 8 plus attack. So better than
No, strength. The strength modifier.
Strength is plus 4, so 12.
12? Okay. He kind of... But he doesn't wake up. And you trundle him over to the couch, laying gently on it.
Okay. Put a little blanket on him.
Okay.
Sleep well, Dad. I'll tell you about my day some other time.
Alright.
Go to bed.
Okay. And with that, the day is done. And that is where we are going to head and call it for the moment. We're going to see if any of our late people are able to show up. If not, we will see you in our next session. Have a good night. So, it has been an hour since our heroes uncovered the ancient installation hidden underneath Haven University. Relics were uncovered, some that talked even, as well as a few weapons. Then you encountered 3 living beings and a fight ensued. Almost lost a couple of your party members. Now, each of you are heading to your respective homes. Already, news of your discovery is spreading like wildfire through the town. Everybody wants to see. After all, there are many people here who have led simple lives and never personally seen the inside of an ancient room. Certainly not the likes of which you found. As you reach the house you live in, you all feel like a hero who's just come home from war, victorious in defeating the enemy. Pride swells in your chest as you go to open the door. And that's where we come to Callie. Calliope, you arrive home, the home you grew up in. This single-story structure of ancient brick mixed with newer items like salvaged metal plates, soft rock slabs, and even something the ancients called a billboard. No one still knows why bills were placed on boards, especially this big, but many things the ancient did were a mystery. The small front yard is covered in pots of all kinds. Some painted, others natural. A great number have flowers, herbs, and other plants growing in them to create a colorful collage that decorates the yard. All thanks to your father's artful eye. You are nearly in the middle of 2 older brothers and 1 younger brother. If it wasn't for your mom, you'd be totally surrounded. Your oldest brother is a scout with the troubleshooting team Drake's Shadow. They are currently somewhere down south, last you heard. The second oldest brother has taken into pottery just like his dad and helps with the family business. And finally, there is your youngest brother, and the one you love best. That's Dio. That kid is blessed by not having succumbed to the testosterone poisoning of your older brothers. At least so far. Dio shows a lot of promise as a musician, and might make a fine anchorman like yourself one day. Mom is out shopping, and you find your dad in the backyard working on pottery, of course. As you walk into the backyard, you find him sliding a piece into the kiln. And as you walk in, he catches sight of you and smiles. Hey, Moonbeam. How was your day?
Hey, Papa. It's fine. Just made a really cool discovery. Nothing much. You know, the usual.
He closes the door to the kiln, walks over to a bench, sits down on it, pats on the empty space.
I'll join them and sit down.
Okay. What did you find?
It was actually really cool. It was an ancient screw-in. You know, sort of like what Mama went through.
Really?
Yeah. And
Here?
Yeah. Right under the university. Who knew, right? Who knew?
Well, that's amazing.
I mean, it really wasn't that much. It was just hallways and it was very clean, surprisingly. Not too much dust after being left alone for so long, but just go through. There's a hallway, after a hallway, into another hallway. Then there was a gun that shot at us, but then there was another hallway.
What?
Nothing.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
You're sure?
I'm fine. It was Marduk who really got the end of the brunt.
Well, is he okay?
He's fine. Our Spock friend sucked the blood out of him, but you know, it's the usual.
All right.
And then it turned out that it was really bizarre because there was a nuclear generator down there. So I don't know. It might be something that interests Mom a little bit more, but lots of science.
I'm sure she'll end up wanting to see it.
Well, she probably will.
I think every once in a while she still gets that itch to go out and be adventurous. But, well, as long as you're okay, that's all that matters.
I'm fine.
Good.
And, you know, it was actually really cool because we found some really cool artifacts. I found a gun. And it shot really well. You might have liked it just because it looked really cool. But don't worry, I mean, if we gave it back, they wanted to study it at the university.
Well, they didn't want to study everything at the university, so that's to be expected. Hey, I know this is what you want. And I don't want to be one of those parents that tries to control their children. But, well, you're my only daughter. So, you need to do me a favor. Try to be as careful as you can.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
I'll make you proud, Papa.
Moonbeam, you already made me proud. You've made me proud every day since you were born.
Thank you.
But what I don't want to do is to have to bury you. Ain't no parent wants to go through that.
I don't think an ancient ruin is going to be the cause of my burying, Papa.
Moonbeam, I had to break it to you. But you might want to talk to Marduk's father about that.
You know, I'll try. We'll see.
That's all I ask.
Okay. But, do you know where Dio is?
Oh,
See
he's
where-
probably downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to see him.
Troublemaker is currently with the Merchant Caravan and Dollar, delivering some of our wares.
Is it doing well? Business?
Yeah, it's doing great. Everybody needs pottery.
It's because they break it, right?
Well, that does happen from time to time. But interestingly enough, there aren't many of us who make pottery in the Friendly Lands.
Well, your art always stands out.
I agree. And it certainly made sure that there was food on the table for you kids. So it's a win-win.
It impressed my mom.
Well, I don't know if that impressed your mom, but I ain't one to argue.
I mean, it's not usual to have a potter use gold in their pieces, Papa.
This is true. This is true.
Don't be humble. You know it. Don't be modest.
Well, kiddo, if I wasn't humble, I'd have an ego so big I couldn't fit through the door.
I can believe it.
Sometimes you gotta be humble. Keeps you grounded.
Okay.
Of course, sometimes I think you gotta pick on yourself too, because if you take yourself too serious, it's just as bad.
Well, you know, I'll. How would I just pick on you? I don't need anyone else picking on me. I'll just pick on you.
Deal.
I like it.
Why don't you go say hello to Dio? I'm sure he'll be happy to see you.
Okay. Love you, Papa.
He ruffles the hair on your head. Take care, Moonbeam. So, you go into the house? The house that the people see is small. Really, no more than a living room, kitchen, and a single bedroom. What most people don't see is the family den. Long before you were born, your parents had a shipping container placed below the ground. It serves as the bedrooms for you and your siblings. Coming down the stairs, you find yourself in the play area, and there's a small hallway that connects to 3 bedrooms. Each is sectioned off by salvaged, no-grain walls and closed with a sliding door. Your bedroom is the closest to the stairs. And as you walk into the playroom, you see Dio is there playing with some wooden toys.
I whistle at him.
He looks up, Sissy! And he immediately gets to his feet, runs up, and hugs you.
How are you doing, Dio?
I'm great! Want to play with my new toys?
I would, but I got a surprise for you. I put my hands behind my back. Gotta choose which one.
Oh man, I hate this game.
I know you do, but you have to. Don't think too hard about it, Dio.
That one! Never win.
It's alright, it's alright. You have another choice.
I do?
Uh-huh.
That one!
Oh. And I reach behind my back and I pull out the golden harmonica.
His eyes light up like it's Christmas morning.
Now we have to keep it secret. Alright?
Okay.
I found it. But if they find it, I hand it to them. You're gonna take it back, okay?
Okay.
And I take his little chin. And if Gideon finds it, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble, okay? So we're not gonna tell him?
No.
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 No. Think you promise?
Yes.
Alright. It's really cool. If you blow through it, it makes a strange noise.
And he immediately starts playing it. Okay.
Not right now. And I look around my shoulders to make sure no one's heard. Gotta go outside when no one hears you, okay?
Okay.
It's our secret. How are you doing, Dio?
You do good. Hey. My knees hurt every once in a while, but I'm doing good.
It looks like you've been getting stronger.
I think so.
Have you been helping Mom?
Yeah. She's shopping right now.
Is she getting ready to make dinner?
Uh-huh.
What are you guys gonna make?
She hasn't told me. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a surprise.
Is it our favorite dish?
Could be.
Okay. Well, we'll let it be a surprise. I just wanted to make sure that I got this to you, okay?
Okay.
But really make sure Gideon doesn't find out.
No. Never. And as you talk with Theo, and play with him. We are going to shift the scene over to Ayla. Home, if you can call it that, is a rundown 3-story house that in the days of the ancients was likely an expensive home. Done in what was called Victorian style, the house has seen better days. Some of the walls are damaged, windows broken out, and the conical top of the turret leans to the left and looks like it could fall at any moment. No one wanted the rickety house that should have been condemned and torn down, but Madame Belfry took it anyway. Over the years, she has slowly shored up sagging walls and fixed leaking roofs. The 3rd floor is still in need of a lot of work, and she forbids anyone to go up there. When you walk through the door, Madame Belfry is in the sitting room, where she normally is during her working hours, behind a small circular table with her crystal ball resting on it, a small square of purple silk thrown over it. She is dressed in gaudy dark and purple clothing with this weird circular hat that looks like it was made from a long sash wrapped into a bubble and fitted with a gold bauble in the front. The entire presentation draws the eye away from a pure-strained human woman who has to be at least in her 60s, given her sagging skin and gray hair. Ah, darling, you're home early. How was your day?
It was good, madam.
Anything exciting happen while you were cleaning the university?
We found ruins today.
Really? Come here, dear. Sit and talk about it. I don't have any customers at the moment anyway.
I hesitate before I go and sit.
Okay. So tell me, what did you find?
We found what seemed to be an old training area. It was a lot of stuff that I did not understand. We found valuables that we could have used the money for us, but in the end, the professor found us and took it. We did get shot at, but I am fine. And we ran into creatures I've never seen before.
Really?
Yes.
Your clothes look a little worse for wear, dear. I assume that comes from the creatures.
Yes. I did something different today. I did not hide, as I've been taught. Calliope, the hairy one, mentioned that I hide, and it upset me. So I tried to help Marduk.
Well, lesson learned.
Yes.
However, at the same time, teamwork is important. If you're part of a team, then there is a goal. And if you lose team members, you may not be able to reach that goal. So, frankly, I think you did right. Good for you. What all did you find in there?
We found weapons, some odd balls that were not used for a while, and a bear that spoke.
Really?
Yes.
I've heard the ancients had toys that could speak, but I've never seen one myself.
It was a spectacle to see.
Well, I suspect you will be getting that stuff back. I'm sure they will want to record everything, but after they are done recording everything and examining it and making notes and restorationists are probably our best hope for the future, but at the same time, gods, they make so many notes.
They do.
So chances are you will see it again. I would be interested in seeing that bat.
I can bring it to you, man.
When they give it back to you, let me know.
I will.
And dear, I'm glad you survived.
Thank you.
Did you find anything else?
The little hairy one found a music piece that I believe she snuck.
Ah,
But
was it an instrument, like a musical
I
instrument?
believe so.
Yes.
And
Restorationists probably won't care about that anyway. I think if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, the ancients called it a mouth organ. So,
Oh, she discovered that quickly and proceeded to play in it.
musicians, what are you going to do?
True.
Well, interesting find. I think you deserve a reward. And she drops 10 domars on the table.
I take them.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Oh, you know me. All the information that I can use.
Yes.
So, you are okay.
Yes, I'm fine.
Good.
A little shaken because I was almost engulfed in the creature,
Ooh.
and that is why my clothes are a little showing. But I'm fine.
Good. Well, why don't you go get some rest? I think you deserve it, especially after what you've been through. Near-death experiences have a way of potentially affecting us, so having some downtime would be a good idea.
I do have a question, madam.
Of course.
Have we heard anything about the lore?
Say that again?
Have we heard anything about the lore? Anything new?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
But if anything comes up, I will let you know.
Thank you, madam.
Quite welcome. And definitely get some food and drink.
I will.
Good girl. So your room is on the second floor. You walk into the kitchen where there are some fresh fruits in a bowl. You grab some water and then you head up to your room. As rooms go, it's not bad. Decent size, decent bed, and it's dry. Madame Belfry used to have 3 more orphans living here, but they all grew up. Save Christo, who was a couple years younger than you and still learning the trade and becoming a rogue. And at that, is there anything that you want to do?
I go to see what Christo is doing. He tends to cause mischief.
Okay. You go to his room, and do you knock on the door or just walk in?
I'll knock.
Okay. Yeah?
Can I come in?
Oh, yeah.
And I go in.
Okay. You walk into a room that's, you figure, is pretty much the same size. And layout is almost exactly the same. You know, furniture may look a little different, but overall, all the bedrooms seem to be about the same. The only bedrooms that are different is the one that you think actually was probably more some kind of a gathering room for the home. And that is where Madame Belfry originally has the youngest orphans. And they sleep in almost a barracks-like situation until they grow in skill and gain that apprenticeship level. So, you know, rank has its privileges. And Christo is a altered human, like yourself. Black hair. He's got short horns coming out from his forehead, which is probably why he was picked on as a child. And you can see his eyes are jet black. Yet he does not appear to be blind. He can see with perfect clarity. If you were to throw something at him, he would be able to catch it. Hey, Ayla, what you want?
Just seeing what you've been up to today.
Madame Belfry and her balance exercises. Sheesh. The third floor is treacherous.
It is, but
Really get tired of falling my ass.
you're gonna fall a few times, but it's gonna be worth it.
You sound like Madame Belfry.
She has her purposes and her reasons for doing things.
Yeah. Don't you get tired of the repetition every day?
I did. I really did. But, I mean, I've gotten to where I am now because of that repetition.
I guess I can't argue that. I want to argue that. But I guess I can't. Alright. Message understood.
Well, take one of the coins, toss it.
Where'd you get this?
The madam.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, intel is gold.
Okay. What'd you tell her?
What she needed to know. You don't have to tell her everything. Just things that will get
Well,
you
yeah,
through.
but what did you tell her? What did you find? What'd you find out?
A bear. I found a bear. One of those. It was speaking. Found a few other valuables, but nothing like that. That one was.
So, like, an artifact bear?
Yes.
Oh, and it spoke?
And it spoke.
That's crazy.
What I didn't tell the madam, and I'm telling you, is that we found things that create energy down there.
Oh, cool.
It was pretty cool. And that's why I'm saying, perfect your craft. And you can make money too.
Alright. Cool, thanks.
You're welcome. I'll see you later.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And if you need me, you know where I am at.
We'll do.
Close the door.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, first roll of the day.
Yay! Let's see how these new ones go. 16.
Nice. As you're closing the door, you think your message actually took hold because he hops off the bed and then jumps onto the banister. No, not banister. The footboard.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts trying to balance across the footboard. And when you close the door and you start to walk off, you hear, "Oh!"
Keep practicing.
Yeah. And that's where the scene shifts to Spock. Home. Home is where you hang your hat, if you needed them. While you are carnivorous and derive sustenance from meat, you still like the feeling of the sun. And home is a small apartment in the back of the grounds of Skeeter's garage. Skeeter is one of the few sentient plant people in town, or as they like to call them, green folk. And this isn't because Haven is bigoted against green folk. The town will happily accept anyone who is willing to become a part of the town and live by its rules. It's more because green folk like yourself and Skeeter tend to be on the rare side. While there are many mutant plants, not all of them are truly sentient like you are, or even mobile like you are. Skeeter is a mutant Venus flytrap with 6 manipulation arms. Thanks to heightened intelligence and some manuals, he has developed a decent skill in repairing and maintaining ancient vehicles. He also has skill in building wagons from whatever material he can get his vines on. When you arrive at the garage, you can see that one of the bays are open, and Skeeter is working on a long wagon that looks like the type merchants would use. As you walk in, Skeeter's head, which once again just looks like this elongated mutant flytrap, looks your direction. Hey Spock, how you doing?
I do well, Skeeter. I do well. The students and we completed a very important task.
Really?
Yes, we made a discovery under the school. It was quite fascinating.
What kind of discovery?
Well, it appears to be a facility, really, with its own power source. A facility that looks sort of like a hybrid of a entertainment facility and maybe perhaps a survival facility. Yeah, it was kind of boring. No, it wasn't boring. It was quite fascinating. Boring.
If it was an ancient ruins, I wouldn't say it was boring.
It was boring. It was not boring. It was not boring, Skeeter. It was quite fascinating.
Definitely sounds like you found something new. Can't complain about that.
I can complain about that plenty. You cannot. Yes, I can. Sorry, I do apologize. He is in a mood. Kevin, you will not talk for the rest of the day. Oh, I will. No, you won't. Skeeter, it was quite fascinating. What we found was a talking marsupial-like animal. I tried to befriend it, but it appeared to not want to be my friend. I was okay with that. You weren't okay with that. You were hurt. I was not hurt. It was quite fine. Anyways, the marsupial did not talk to me. It proceeded to talk to the other group, and it was stabbed by a sword. It was quite ferocious. It was the sword strike. We also found some rifles and some torches. We also powered up the generator, which I was quite proud of.
So there's a working generator down there.
There quite is, but unfortunately, I am sad to say there's only one more power cell. So while it's working, I can't imagine it will be working for very long.
You'd have to find us some more power cells. It's possible. Did you find any vehicles?
We did not find vehicles,
Damn.
but as soon as we do, I will let you know.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
You know, and I'll make you this promise.
He's not going to promise us anything. Yes, he will promise us. He always lives by his word. Kevin, stop talking. I will not. I'm sorry. Kevin is in the mood, like I said.
If you find any vehicles and they need work on, you let me know.
You will be the first I will let know regarding vehicles we shall find.
Especially if it's a new one. If it's a new one, I'll give you a discount.
Duly noted. Discount on new vehicles. Skeeter, how was your day going?
Just working on this wagon.
Skeeter, eventually, I'd like to acquire a wagon for me and my comrades. Is that possible?
It's possible. It'll just take some money.
He's going to rip us off. He always rips us off. He is a scumbag. You don't even know what a scumbag is. I do. No, you don't. I am so sorry, Skeeter. Please don't take offense. Like I said, his nitrate levels are likely low. He needs meat.
Well, you should go take care of that then.
I will. I will take care of his meat issue.
There's nothing worse. I know many Orleans who will say there's nothing worse than your second head carrying on nothing but arguments with you.
Yes, yes. Skeeter, I've been meaning to ask you. Skeeter, do you ever have the urge to become one with the other species?
You mean non-plant species?
Yes.
No.
Oh, you don't. So
You're like me. They're for eating.
No, yes, but I think you misunderstand. I wish to combine us. I've secretly had the desire to pollinate my friends, and I realize that sounds completely unacceptable within the realms of friendship.
Well,
however,
yeah.
But I wish us to become one species. Plant and humans unite.
Spock, I hate to break it to you, but us green folk ain't like other beings.
Yes, that is quite obvious. It is not obvious to you, you freak. It is quite obvious that we are different. That's why, Kevin, I wish to combine us. I apologize.
You know, probably the better thing to do is to just get to know people.
I have.
Become friends with them. Work together.
I have.
That teamwork is going to be the best way that you're going
To pollinate them.
well, not pollinate them, but, you know, to become one in a sense.
I have tried to become one, but my seed is not taking.
No, not in that sense.
What sense do you refer to?
You're not going to be able to procreate with animals and humans. It just doesn't work.
I disagree. Listen to him, you idiot. I will not listen to him. I believe his logic is full of fallacy. Anyways, I believe there's genetic code of plant species and sapien species can combine into one genetic code to a superior being. I've seen this in the historical documents.
I think you're just going to end up with a superior nightmare.
Ah, Skeeter. Well, we shall take this up further. I need to make it to my living quarters. I do apologize.
No problem, man.
Bye, Skeeter. Have a productive day.
You too.
You know he's not going to do anything but look for food. Yeah, okay. Just don't say it out loud.
You weave through the backyard that is full of all kinds of wrecked vehicles, some ancient, some new. This also includes numerous stacks of parts, wheels, scrap metal, and other detritus that Skeeter uses to make his miracles happen. Your apartment that you call home is a one-bedroom affair with a small living room and an adjoining kitchen. It still has many of the appliances and features from the ancients when it had been built. Not that any of them work, since running electricity is a scarce commodity in Haven. In many ways, though, it is a pleasant change from the ruins that the troubleshooting team found you in. Haven genuinely took you in and made you a member of the town, and soon you will be a troubleshooter, helping find knowledge and equipment, supporting the town that made you a member of their family. What would you like to do?
I hate this place. It reminds me of an outhouse that sapiens would use. You have never seen an outhouse that sapiens have used. Well, I have imagined one. That's not the same as seeing one. You cannot equate this facility as an outhouse that sapiens would use. I can if I want to. Jerk, go away. That is illogical. I cannot go away. I am attached to you. Can we please move forward? We need to progress through the day. I suppose, since I'm attached to you, I have to. Fine. I'm going to go through and make a personal log of my equipment and take it kind of all out and look at it. This time I'm going to include. This time I'm going to equip my. I'm gonna actually take out some of the equipment, and I'm going to re-equip other equipment. I'm going to take my pipe pistol and put it in its holster.
Okay.
And I'm going to take my other equipment that was left previously, like my crossbow, my black powder revolver,
Right.
and my dagger. I'm going to equip that into a sack.
The black powder revolver you haven't gotten yet because you haven't graduated.
Okay, copy.
So that will be soon.
Okay. My other equipment, okay, my light crossbow, my pipe pistol that I have crafted out of spare parts
Right.
that I generously borrowed without permission from Skeeter's workshop. And I'm going to equip my dagger. And what I'd like to do is look for supplies around my living facility to craft a backpack that would be appropriate to my species.
Okay.
Because I was told it cannot be done. It can't be done. We have 4 arms. You need to accept that. That is illogical. I should not accept something that is that we don't. We can produce a backpack. It can be done. 4 straps, 4 arms. We've got this.
All right.
So I'm going to make a backpack.
Go ahead and let's go ahead and start with a perception roll.
I perceive not very much with a roll of 7.
Okay. As far as equipment goes within Skeeter's junkyard,
Okay.
you can find some leaf springs that might work.
See, with a perception roll of 7, we have accomplished something.
But anything else you might need, you don't see that would be here, because most backpacks are made out of either some kind of canvas or leather, and that's not something he normally has a lot of.
Can I salvage stuff from the seats that Sapiens use in these old vehicles?
No,
Okay.
at least not that you've seen.
See, I told you it was futile. It was not futile. We need a backpack. Well, we have some springs for a backpack, but we lack the other requisite materials for a backpack. Where can I go to buy such materials?
You probably don't want to go to one of the merchants in town.
Yes, we should go to a mercantile store.
That's why he's hungry. That's why he's hungry.
So there's Garn's equipment shop.
Don't go to Garland's. He always rips us off. He does not. He's fair and he's a gentleman. He's not a man. He looks like a sapien man. He's not. He wears a dress. Who knows these days? It's a different time period. Okay.
Garn is asleep, which is kind of like a lizard man.
He's a lizard man. I knew that.
He deals in equipment that would cater more to the adventuring crowd, the troubleshooters and whatnot.
Then that is the person I want to go to.
All right.
Okay.
You go to Garn's, and it's a 2-story stone structure, and there is a sign out front with crossed swords in front of a horseshoe.
Okay. I'm going to enter into the facility.
Okay.
Greetings, Garn.
Ah, green one. What can I do for you?
Garn, I seek a backpack, which you will not find. Yes, I will find a backpack. Please let me do the business. I seek a backpack that is appropriate for my form. It will need 4 straps. It will need big enough to carry all the team's loot that I will not share with them. Because obviously they will misuse it. And so I need to safeguard it.
I see. Well, he starts to walk a circuit around you as he looks at you. It could be possible, but it will take time to build.
Yeah, see, time, what I hear is you can't do it. Would you not say this out loud? Think it quietly. I can still hear you. How much time are you looking at, Gorn?
Probably at least 5 days.
5 days. 5 days equates to more money. More money equates to him getting richer and us poor. Dude, would you stop talking, please? 5 days is acceptable. Thank you, Gorn. How much would it cost me?
For you, since you have already done well by Haven and are about to become a troubleshooter, I will do it for 10 domars.
10 domars. Is that good? I believe it's fair. Wow, okay, maybe Gorn's a stand-up guy.
Yes, I am.
It is acceptable.
Excellent. Let me take some measurements. So he does a few measurements, takes a few notes, all the while kind of mumbling a little, like he's saying, maybe I can do this, or maybe we can do that, but after about, you figure about maybe 10 minutes or so, he's got all the notes he needs.
Okay.
I will let you know when it is ready.
Very good. Then we shall see you in approximately 5 days, correct?
Yes.
Yes, he's going to be late. Him saying yes to the 5 days is equivalent to saying it's actually going to be 7 days. How can you know this? This is illogical. Your calculations are off. He says 5 days. I believe 5 days. I will see you in 5 days.
5 days.
Very good. I'm going to make my way back to my domicile.
All right. You walk out the door, and Garn goes, some people are more of a challenge than others. All right. So, you all are at your homes. Callie, Mom comes home. You can't go to the bathroom now. You have to wait until break.
Okay,
I'm kidding. Didn't we talk to you about the rules?
I can't wait.
Oh, what plant?
It must be spring. We wet our plants.
Yes. It's the rainy season.
So Mom comes home. And Mom, having been an ex-enforcer, looks like she just came home from war. She's got her armor on, even though she was in Haven. She's got a pistol on her hip. Callie! Come here, dear. Give me a hug.
I go and I give her a hug.
Okay.
Kind of step back, look at her. You know that's not necessary to go to the grocery store, right? Or the market.
Yes, it is.
I don't remember there being war in the market, Mama.
And what if bandits attacked while I was at the market?
And did they?
No, they didn't.
Exactly. So why are you...
Dear, wishful thinking is not a survival trait.
Mama, your team wanted you back. I'm sure if you wanted to go back now, you'd be okay.
But once again, wishful thinking is not a survival trait. You should always be ready. You should always be prepared.
You can be prepared. You don't have to be full out battle armor.
Yes, dear.
You know I love you.
How was your day?
It went,
It's not what I heard.
of course. I'm sure you would have loved it. It was, we discovered some ancient ruins.
So how did that go?
It went pretty well. I mean, we all survived. Nothing too crazy. Found some cool artifacts. Went through a maze-like area. Nothing like your adventures.
Really? I hear Aelith almost died.
It's because you was standing next to the enemy. Isn't that what you tell us? You stay away from the enemy, but she was standing right there, so you got engulfed.
Or maybe because you weren't prepared.
I was shooting. What was I supposed to do? They were pink blobs, just flesh, and then they just engulfed them. It was actually quite terrifying.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. And I'm glad you didn't lose any of your friends.
Thank you, Mama. We battled well, and Marduk and I, we stopped him like it was a gun, it was a trap. We stopped it.
Good for you. Would you like to help me start making dinner?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let me take this stuff off so that I can prepare for the kitchen.
I really... Whatever, Mom. Okay.
She just smirks at you and disappears into the bedroom to change.
Theo!
Yeah?
You gonna come help?
Okay.
Thank you.
He comes scampering up the stairs.
Does Mama always wear her armor?
Yeah. It's so cool.
Just like always. Whatever. Mama, you almost done.
She comes back out, dressed for the evening, in just a nice, simple dress. Right. Let's start making dinner. And you all help make dinner. Dio, you both try to make Dio feel like he's helping, even though since he's only 6, he's a little short to be carrying stuff from counter to counter.
I don't think so. I think I give him the ingredients. I say, Dio, here, go for it. You got this, kid. Just don't put your arm through the hand mixer. It doesn't work well. You drop and try. It failed.
He struggles, but he helps.
Is Grammy coming to dinner tonight?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I guess it's one less drama to take place. Not saying that I don't like her. I love Grammy. She's wonderful. She's
I
a
love her
wonderful
too.
lady.
I love her too, but I agree with you. She's best in small doses.
Mhm. So what would it's veal soup, right? Family specialty.
Yep.
You gotta put in the spices like I like.
Yep.
It's a good way to congratulate today because I found some cool stuff. Found a talking bear.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of scary. You know, it's definitely just like you described. It was a caricature of a bear. I don't know why these ancients thought it was cool to, you know, you have this fierce bear, and then you just make it into a teddy bear for kids to love. What the hell? I'm sorry. What the heck?
I don't think we're ever going to understand what went through the minds of the ancients. After all, they almost destroyed the world.
Well, it wasn't the ancients that almost destroyed the world. It was the apocalypse that destroyed the world.
Yes, through their hands.
Either way, you know, it was almost diabolical like. It just kept talking about manners. I don't know, it was weird.
It's probably a child's toy.
A child's toy teaches manners?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Why?
Because the ancients, from what we've been able to gather, like to create things like that to teach children.
So you have artificial intelligence teaching the children how to behave? Mama, I'd rather take your lessons any day.
Well, as I said, we may never understand what went through their heads.
Some of the stories you tell me you're right. I'm not going to understand what goes through their heads.
Well, go get your father. We'll have dinner.
Do I have to go get him? I mean, he was pretty busy out there in the workshop. He was looking pretty pleased. Do we want to interrupt his creative?
Honey, if we don't remind him to eat, he could go days without eating.
All right.
You know your dad, he gets caught up in his art sometimes.
All right. Okay, I'll go get him. Dio, can you come with me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Papa!
And you head out in the backyard to grab your father. With that, we come back to Ayla. To Ayla, who's gunning on towards evening. What are you going to do for the rest of the evening?
I'm going to go out.
Okay.
Try to find some intel that could be useful.
All right. if that's the case, then go ahead and give me a... Yeah, let's just go with a perception check.
14.
Alright. The only information that you pick up is everyone talking about the find that you guys made today. It is the talk of the town. Beyond that, there's not really much else being said except, maybe the usual talking about the weather, talking about harvests, or, the various stuff going on around town in regards to the fact that it's getting close to summer. So, soon everything will be harvested and brought in. It's one of the things you hate about this town. It is so boring and predictable. The one thing you do catch is Marduk's father hanging outside the door to Garn's equipment shop. The sun has already gone down. Lamps are being lit. There are street lamps that have been set up within the town across most of the major streets. The actual place of governance called Itty Hall, although why they call it Itty Hall you don't know, because it's actually a pretty big building. They're the only ones that currently have actual electricity and electric lights. But lanterns have been lit, so there's lantern lights to see by. And Garns closes up and the Sleeth comes out the door. And he and Marduk head off towards one of the taverns.
I'd like to follow them.
Okay. In that case, give me a stealth roll.
18.
Yeah, 18 plus your stealth, which should be plus 5.
Because my math. 23.
Okay. They don't seem to spot you as you move from shadow to shadow. Nobody seems to spot you as you move from shadow to shadow. And they head to a place called The Tavern.
Very inventive.
It is quite original.
It is. So original.
It is a 3-story brick and wood structure. Some say it was what the ancients called a motel. Years of neglect still required some building and renovation to turn it into the edifice that it is today. The first floor holds a common room, kitchen, bathrooms, and then finally the owner's home. Most people only see the first or second floors. The second floor has a number of rooms for people who need to stay the night. And the tavern is run by a hoop who retired having had enough of combat and conflict and war. An eye patch covers his left eye, and his left ear hangs limply, souvenirs of the final battle that made him decide he needed another line of work. But for being a 6-foot-tall mutated rabbit, he still seems to be in decent health. And you see them walk in. Doors closed.
I would like to go in.
Okay. I will, before you decide to go in, I will give you a perception check.
Okay.
But given the fact that you're trying to stay out of sight, not be seen, it will be a disadvantage to see if you can hear what they're talking about as they walk.
That. So 5.
Okay. So all you can hear is murmurs. You can't make out any real distinct words as they walk.
Are there any shadows that I could try to get closer?
There are lamps set outside the doors to the entry.
Mm-hmm.
And when you saw the door open, you could see it's relatively well lit.
Trying to think. Well, if I can't hear them, I'm just gonna approach, if I can, Marduk's father to see how he's doing.
Well, right now they're inside the establishment.
So I can't go in there.
So unless you're going to try to make your way in there somehow.
I can. I will. Try to slip in there if I can.
Okay. That'll still be a stealth roll, but you're trying more just to look nondescript as opposed to hello.
That's not my style. 15 plus, so 20.
20? Okay. You slip through the door. Pretty much none the wiser. A couple people seem to look at you, but they go back to either their drink or their company, whatever. The hoop scans you. And Harvey looks at you for a minute and just kind of goes, and then just goes back to what he's doing.
So I will, in an attempt to gather some intel, approach Marduk's father.
Okay. They're seated at a table. High or low?
Hi.
All right. One of the tables next to them is currently unoccupied.
Okay. I would like to sit at that table.
All right. You go sit at the table. And at that point, go ahead and give me a perception check.
15.
15? Okay. Don't forget your perception skill.
Where's that again?
That'll be on your skills page, second page.
Okay, second page. Okay. 8.
Okay. Actually, this is sound-based, so it's 10.
Okay, so 25.
Yeah. It is, your antennae pick up everything.
Yes.
Fortunately, nobody's speaking loudly. If there was shouting going on, it would probably be at a disadvantage because it would be too much. But conversations tend to be muted, kept down. For everyone else, it might be a murmur, but you can pick up them talking pretty darn well. And it's the Sleeth is looking at Marduk as they both have a beer bottle in front of them. And the Sleeth says, "You cannot control your son. He has to make his own way in life." And Marduk goes, I know. You just don't want him going through what we went through, Garn. You were there in that last mission. We lost everyone. Garn goes, I know. And it weighs on my soul as well. But that is life. We must learn to live with those experiences no matter how bad they are. And carry on the memory of our fallen comrades. Because if we don't, who will? Marduk goes, I'm just tired. I'm tired of all of this. Don't know what to do about it anymore. I go to sleep and I see my friends dying and I can't do anything about it. So fuck it. And he upends the beer. And granted, Marduk's father, his name is Enki, is not a small man. Like his son, he is a mutant bull. Actually stands a little taller than his son. And well, you've seen Marduk. Marduk is not short.
No, he's not.
Since he's a retired enforcer, he's got a little bit of a beer gut, so that even adds to his already impressive girth. And he just takes that beer bottle and it just disappears in one tilt. And that's pretty much the gist of the conversation, is Garn trying to help Enki. And it doesn't... It seems like Enki thinks that drinking is going to solve all of his problems. And it certainly paints an interesting emotional picture for you, because you almost died. And you're not even a graduated troubleshooter yet. And Harvey walks up. Hey, kid. Anything I can get you? That ain't alcohol?
I'm good, sir.
You sure? Like some water at least?
Water's fine.
Get you water. Goes over to the bar, grabs a beer stein, fills it with water, brings it over to you. There you go. Make you feel important at least.
Thank you, sir. I'll drink a little bit of it.
All right.
And I think about what they said, but even though sometimes I act like I don't care about my comrades, I do. Especially the big guy. And the two-headed lion. But even though I'm used to being in the shadows, I remember Calliope's words, so I down the drink as if it were alcohol, liquid courage, and I stand up and I approach Marduk's father.
All right.
I tap him on his big shoulder.
And he's just kind of talking to Garn and goes, "Can I help you?"
Sir, I'm Aleph. I'm one of Marduk's companions, friends.
Yeah.
I've fought alongside him today.
You see an eyebrow raise?
And I understand that you may fear for him, but he is one of the bravest people, things, creatures that I've met. I stepped in to fight alongside him, and I would do it again every time. So if you will allow me to cover his back, I will do that. I know that you've been through a lot, and
Kid, you don't know a fucking thing.
I almost died today, sir. I do know a thing.
Yeah, but did you lose anybody?
And that's why I'm asking you to let me keep him safe, sir, so that I don't have to feel what you have. Please, sir.
Get out of this bar. You notice that Garn has put a hand on Enki's shoulder to keep him from, or at least try to keep him from going anywhere. As you leave, give me a perception check. If you leave. Are you going to leave?
Yeah, I'll leave.
Okay.
It's a 1.
Okay. You leave. Enki turns around, says something, but you can't pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay, you leave. Head back home.
Just want to wander for a little while.
Alright. Night air is cool. gives you time to think about what happened throughout the day, not just this recent incident. And at some point, you'll wander your way back home for some rest. That's where we come back to Spock. Spock, you have left Garns. Is there anything else you wish to do?
Yes, I wish to return to Skeeter's garage. I have a question regarding protocol with him.
Okay. Hey, Spock buddy! What can I do for you?
Skeeter, I wanted to bring this subject up. No, you didn't. You were quite afraid. Yes, I wanted to bring it up. I was quite timid because I didn't know how to approach it. Anyways, I wanted to bring this subject up. We met 3 new friends down in the new rooms.
Yeah?
They were quite fascinating, but they attacked us. I did not want to kill them, but I had to kill them nonetheless. So they were 3 new friends that we had to murder. My question to you, Spock, you are an idiot. You are the smartest idiot I know. They weren't your friends, they were your potential murderers. You do not know what you're talking about, Kevin. Yes, I know what I'm talking about, Kevin. Hold your tongue. If you were to have one, you would hold it now. I want to know how, Skeeter, we go about when we meet new friends, not killing them.
Well, Spock, you gotta understand. There are beings out there, there are mutants out there, there are humans out there that ain't gonna like you.
Yes, I understand that. But being an evolved species such as myself, not speaking for my sapient friends, they're got quite a ways to evolve to catch up to me. But how do we move past this violence so we can all unify and become one species?
Spock, you can move past violence all you want. You can be what is the word that I use? Pacifistic all you want. But at the end of the day, if the other guy ain't gonna be that, then well, you gotta make a decision.
Skeeter, you lost me at pacifistic. I do not think that is a word. At least I do not recall when I studied the lexicons pacifistic being a word. But I think you mean pacifist. Yes, if you mean pacifist, Spock. Seriously, like I said, you are the dumbest but smartest idiot I have known. Marduk is ready to trim you, and I will encourage him to make the cut. Make the cut. I will circumcise you. For once, Spock, you have misused the term, and I can one-up you on this. I think I used that term correctly. Circumcise you. No, you have not used the term correctly. Believe me, you idiot.
No.
Anyways, I apologize, Skeeter.
I hate arguments between families. Okay, so let's get back on subject.
Yes.
If the person you're talking to wants violence, well, then either you got to roll over and play dead, or you're going to have to fight them.
So it is acceptable to kill your friends.
Well, if they're attacking you, they're not your friends.
Understood. If they're attacking, the normal protocol is to murder them. Yes.
Self-defense isn't murder.
That's what I said. That's what I said, Spock. Self-defense is not murder. Do you understand? Now you have a second source to draw your research from. Yes, I will concede that you were correct, Kevin. But a broken clock is right twice a day. So, Skeeter, thank you very much. I appreciate your input.
You have yourself a good evening.
You as well, Skeeter. Skeeter, are you any closer to finding a wagon or such transport for the friends and I?
I gotta finish working on this one first.
Okay. Because I assure you, we will recompensate you for your said services.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to.
Yes, we will. I know a very fascinating fox friend. She's quite funny.
Well, we'll see about that.
Okay. Okay.
Good night, Spock.
I told you he would not understand your offering. I figured he would. He is a quite understanding trap. He wouldn't understand because he doesn't know the interactions between sapiens and plants.
Oh man, arguments between family members are such a drag.
So I am going to go off now and try to find my friends. Because I need to tell them that it is okay to murder the new friends that we meet along the way.
Well, it's
During
nighttime at this point, so you figure they're probably going to sleep.
What is this? Why are my friends bound by such ridiculous, mundane, man-created things such as time? This is why plants are superior. We know no time. You idiot, the sun is down, it is nighttime. They are no longer photosynthesizing, so they go to sleep. I don't think sapiens photosynthesize. I think you are wrong. No, I know what I'm talking about. You do not know what you're talking about. Sapiens do not photosynthesize. That's why they sleep when the sun goes down. No, that is proof against your argument. The sun goes down and they fall asleep because they no longer have energy. Ridiculous. I'll just go back to my domicile.
All right. And at that, we have concluded our first round of interludes. And we're going to try to recover from our sides hurting so much from laughing. With that said,
you guys are so good.
we hope you've been entertained, and we bid you a good night. We'll see you on the next episode.
Very good.